All right, it's set after a gutsy performance from the San Francisco 49ers to win over the reigning Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. That has set the next round of the playoffs for the NFC. Now, there is the AFC still to be, there's two games left in that to set those seeds in motion. However, the NFC, we know who's playing who, and the Los Angeles Rams are gonna be headed to the Windy City to take on the Chicago Bears. That's what we're talking about in this video. Thanks for tuning on in. Feel free to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's talk about the Bears. Let's talk about the Rams. So, at the making of this video, the game just ended for the Eagles and 49ers. I actually really enjoyed watching the game. I was okay if either team lost. I kind of, I want them both out of the playoffs. So, but that being said, the San Francisco 49ers will head to Seattle. And it just seems right that all three, NFC West juggernaut teams in the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams are all in the divisional round of the playoffs. The Rams are the ones that are playing the Chicago Bears. And then the Niners and Seahawks, they're going to, duke it out. And we'll see how they scream and shout, all that good stuff. I do project, the schedule hasn't come out yet. I'm going to guess that the Rams and Bears is on the Saturday night, just because both the Rams and Bears played on Saturday. And for some reason in my mind, that would just make sense. But I could be wrong. Who knows? But that's, TBD, as they say. Looking into this game, though, the Bears, if we look at their schedule, they went 11-6 on the year. They were definitely a much improved team under first-year head coach Ben Johnson, who I think is kind of becoming the villain head coach in the NFL, just especially after his awkward, barely a handshake, more like kind of a bad high five to Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. But that being said, I'm excited for this game. The Rams and Bears have not played each other this year, and I think it could be a high-scoring game. Both these offenses have been able to put up points. The Bears did end off the year losing to the Lions and losing to the Niners as well, but as you can tell, they played close games all year long, and I expect the Rams and Bears game to be no different. I think it'll come down to the wire, and it's going to be a fight. I am excited to see what this Rams defense can do against Caleb Williams, because I think the Bears and Rams match up quite well. I think that the Rams absolutely can go into Chicago and they can get this win. Not sure what the weather is at this moment, but it'll probably change slightly throughout the week, but we'll monitor that. It is obviously going to be an outdoor game. I will just point out here, interesting little fun fact I heard on multiple sources, but if you look at Sean McVay, he has now, after he plays the Bears, he will have played every single NFC team in the playoffs except for the Giants, which I find that fascinating, because back to 17, played the Falcons, then he played the Saints, played the Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks, then Niners, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Lions, Eagles, Vikings, and Panthers. He has never had a playoff rematch before in his coaching tenure, which is crazy to think, because he's been a head coach of the Rams since 2017, and he's made the playoffs most years, but he's always played a new opponent. So I find that quite interesting, and him playing the Bears here will make another check mark off the list. And obviously the quest is to win the Super Bowl. The quest is to go into Chicago, get the win, and then play whoever wins, the 49ers and the Seahawks. If the 49ers win and the Rams win, the Rams would actually host the NFC championship game, which that's crazy, like as a 5 seed. If the Seahawks win and the Rams win, then obviously the game would be hosted in Seattle. And if the Bears win, well, we don't really care. No offense. Well, we do care, but like, this video, if you didn't know, is about the Rams. I'm a very biased Rams fan. If you couldn't tell by my channel, that's on you. But I am looking forward to this game. I think that It's going to be a fun matchup. It'll be pretty high scoring, I believe. I think that this game might come down to who makes the mistake that cost them the game, right? That one interception, that one fumble, and I I'm looking forward to seeing the Rams go into Chicago and try and get this win. They just came off of a very heart pounding game against the Carolina Panthers, which if you thought the Rams and Panthers was heart pounding, you probably enjoyed the Bears and Packers because that game also came down to the wire. We've been blessed with some good playoff football here. So those are my thoughts. I want to hear yours in the comments below. Of course, I try my best to read each and every comment. And if you are new here, feel free to like and subscribe and introduce yourself in the comments. I want to say hello. And yeah, I will be live for the Rams versus Bears whenever that game is scheduled. Again, I'm predicting it's going to be Saturday night, but hey, I've been wrong before, and I'm okay with that. I'll be live also on Wednesday nights for First Down Rams with my co-host Rams House as we talk about everything from the aftermath of the Panthers game to what's going on with the Rams and the Bears, injury reports, things like that. I am wondering if we can get Kevin Dotson back for this game. That would be huge for the Rams, so massive. And I know a lot of Ram fans are kind of disappointed with the performance in Carolina, but I think at the end of the day, you just got to take the win. It was across across the country in the East Coast trip. I'm not exactly sure of the time zones of Chicago and LA, but I'm guessing it's a little bit closer being in the Midwest. So that's going to do it for me in this video. I look forward to reading your comments. And of course, as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. The quest continues.